where to put your call to action. So, but in the first you're asking, Will, what's a call to action? A call to action is exactly what it sounds like. You call on your audience to act, which means subscribe, follow, or buy. Subscribe to the podcast or newsletter. Follow on socials. Follow or subscribe to the guest or buy a product from one of your partners and advertisers. Also, you tell them to review the podcast to help you in the algorithm. So subscribe, follow, buy, review. You can put them at the beginning, the middle, or the end. I do all of them at the beginning and the end. I don't like doing them in the middle. Christian, notice we don't do any ads or plugs in the middle of the podcast.
No, we don't.
That's because I think the middle is the most important thing. It disrupts the flow.
Yeah.
And I
mean, there are people that do take that approach.
Yeah, no, nothing wrong with it.
Yeah.
It's probably honestly, it's probably the most successful to do them in the middle.
For the ad placements, yes.
Yeah.
For, the attention's already captured. People are like, oh, what the hell? There's an ad right here. They watch it. They continue the show.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I do them at the beginning. Typically. At the end, you always give the plugs at the end.
Yep.
To you and the guest, always give them a chance to plug their stuff.
Well, plugs are, I think, ads and plugs are different.
Ads and plugs are different, correct? Right. But it's still a call to action.
Yes.
So let's start to subscribe. I do subscribe at the beginning and the end. First thing in my cold open for the intro. We're gonna get into what that means next episode or a few episodes later. This can be included in your pre-recorded intro, your live intro, or you can do it in both. And again, I'm going to explain what all those means in a later episode. Remind your listeners who subscribe to the podcast on YouTube, your newsletter, etc. Give your guests a chance to do this as well, and you repeat at the end. First and foremost, hey, this is the podcast. Remember to go subscribe. At the end, hey, this was the podcast. Remember, go subscribe. If you liked it, here's where you can find more.
Like, comment, subscribe, share.
Like, comment, subscribe, share. Yeah.
Share is important.
Following. This can be done at the beginning as well as at the end. Follow blank for more content or video content. Follow us on TikTok for more content. Same with the guests. Give the guests their chance to find where they can follow you. If they have a newsletter, they can subscribe or follow to the newsletter. Or you can do is start the podcast via graphics in lower thirds, which is something we do on podcasts, on my clips. Typically for that, lower third etiquette. For our lower thirds, our names, I do them every 15 minutes. I try to do them every 15 minutes. I will throw up a lower third. So at the beginning of the podcast, I'll do it like right at the beginning. I'll do my intro, Welcome to Talk with Tarashuk podcast. My name is Will Tarashuk. Lower third comes up. Say it's like 90 seconds into the podcast. I will do the next one after 15:30 or 16:30. Say like Christian's talking at that time. I'll wait until I'm talking. And say it happens at 17:04, then I wait and do it at, what's the math there, 32:04 after that. Same thing with Christian. Christian comes in a few minutes later at the beginning of the podcast. I'll put his at like maybe 3 minutes. Then I'll do it again at 18 minutes. Like if he's not there at 18 minutes, or say he's a little before 18 minutes, he talks at 17 minutes, I'll put it at 17 minutes. Same with the guests. Also for lower thirds, that's, follow on Instagram. Same thing. I will put it every 15 minutes, I'll switch it up.
Don't be annoying about it.
Don't be annoying about it.
Don't be annoying about it.
But I think every 15 minutes is a pretty good.
They're tuned in. They're
good time to do
they're
it.
Tuned in. They're listening. Oh wait. Oh, this person's Instagram, TikTok handle, any of the things.
Yeah, that's a good reminder of who they are. Like if they have multiple lower thirds,
Right.
like for me, like I would do I could do if I'm on another podcast, I can do host of Talking with Tarashuk, or I can do founder of APS podcast, what have you. I'll do 15 minutes. I'll do the first one for Instagram. 15 minutes later, I'll do YouTube. 15 minutes later, I'll do Twitter. 15 minutes later, I'll do TikTok. And by that's the end of the podcast.
I think it's important to point out what you said. Just by saying it, you're not saying you're throwing up a paragraph of social handles all at once.
Yeah, spread them out.
Exactly.
Spread them out.
Yeah.
When I'm editing for clips, I will do one lower third per clip. Typically, if it's a shorter clip, I won't do names. Sometimes I do, sometimes I don't. Depends on the clip. If it's a longer clip, I will. If it's a shorter clip, I won't. And then I'll do like a follow on Instagram for that one clip. And then the next clip, I'll do a follow on YouTube. And et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Switch it up. If it's a TikTok, so say I have a 10-minute clip from unknown unnamed nonsense. I'll do Instagram. For the whole clip, I'll do a follow on Instagram. And for every TikTok I cut for that clip or a YouTube short or an Instagram reel, I will use that follow on YouTube for the TikTok as well. The next clip, say it's a 5-minute clip, I will do subscribe on YouTube. Same thing with the shorts, the reels, and the TikToks. Follow on YouTube. And it's kind of go down the line. Ads. With ads, they can be placed at the beginning, at the end, they can be placed both, or in the middle. And you can price them out for different ad spots. So, for example, I think ads are typically 30, 45, 60 seconds. So say I had a 60-second ad in the beginning. That would probably be the most expensive since, one, it's longer, and it's right in the beginning. It's the highest probability of getting listened to. A 15-second ad spot at the end would be the cheapest, since most people don't listen to the end anyway. And it's 15 seconds, so it can be cheap. You can also throw it in the middle, if you wish, and you can price that out accordingly. So for us, Christian, like in between questions, we can go to an ad break that's either pre-rolled, or we can do a live reading, one or the other.
Yep.
And that's that. You know, that is your call to action placement.